folks. This soap today is from Chiseled Face. It's Cryogen. So yes, it's got a lot of menthol. That's what it looks like on the inside, and it is very soft. Matter of fact, I got some more soap on my finger there. Get 4 ounces of soap in here. And according to the website, they are now closed until August the 10th. They're moving. Same thing with Stubble Buster. And I can probably safely say that this soap probably is not going to be for everybody, just because the amount of menthol that's in there. Got the alum block complete with rubber band. Just to keep right on, it's piling on. I've got Sterling's Witch Hazel. It's unscented but methylated. And then I even got the matching aftershave Cryogen. And I'm still sporting the Clubman Beard Balm Oil. The shaver of the day. This is the Manatee 208 open comb razor. Does have a bit of overhang here. You kind of see how much blade exposure is there. If you haven't seen me before with this razor, not a problem with blade alignment. Plop it right in there, tighten everything up or snug it up, and don't ever have to fiddle with the placement of the razor, of the blade. Works just fine. Before I forget, Flash and I were talking about Sterling's Wintergreen, another great cooling effect type soap, and he said that his soap wasn't, see, this is pink. He said his was closer to being a white color. Anyway, thought I would throw that in there real quick before I forgot that we were talking about that. Excuse me. I've got it whipped up here in my bowl. This is a brush that I got from Metalworks, and it's got, if I remember correctly, it's a Whipped Dog dot, synthetic. Definitely got it whipped up on the wet side here, and I've already put a hot towel to the face also. And go ahead and get started with the pre-shave here. Cube's getting smaller and smaller, but it's still a good chunk of pre-shave. Yeah, just that little bit of soap I put on the on my face, it's already bothering, making that eye water just a little bit. So this could be an interesting shave. A while back, somebody asked what I thought might be the soap with the most menthol in it. And I hadn't shaved with Cryogen yet, and I mentioned it. And Sterling's Wintergreen comes very close. Let's see here, Obsidian as well as from Sterling, and the I have not tried Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Frostbite. Couldn't tell you about that one. It is definitely going to be on the wet side today. A lot of fun this morning. I can tell this is going to be great. Oh, I'm sorry. The blade of the day. Yesterday I shaved with Derby Premium. Wasn't quite as smooth as I'd hoped for. The shave went fine. It's just that I was hoping for a smoother shave from a Derby blade. But today is going to be a Voskhod. It's Teflon coated, so I'm hoping for a smoother shave. Like I said, it wasn't a bad shave. It just, I was hoping it would be a little bit smoother than what it was. And down below I have a link for a website that discusses the sharpness of a razor blade, and as well as the one for yesterday. You'd have to go to my blog down, and I'll have a link down below for you. is one I stumbled across. It's pretty nice to be able to find a website that reviews razor blades and gives the opinion and whatnot on how they arrived at the ranking for the for sharpness. Even after, in other words, the second shave also. In other words, it's just not just one shave. Alright, here we go. Hey, my face is nice and cool this morning. In between Derby Premium and guess what would be Derby Extra, it does mention that. If you check out the link for that one there, like I said, it's on yesterday's blog. And it felt that the Derby Premium, I guess you might say, really shined on the second shave. Which is interesting. A lot of that is what I remember hearing about a feather blade, is that, you know, the second or third shave seems like it's smoother or better, if you will. It does mention one of those things about how many shaves should you try to get out of a blade. Considering I'm swapping in and out of shavers all the time, I'm usually one and done, unless I'm sticking with one and wanting to see how it works through the multiple uses. But if I remember right, it mentions about, you know, twice is what you should be able to expect out of a blade. I myself, I don't, unless I'm trying to stretch it, or, you know, see how many shaves I get out of a blade, or I'm going to be using this shaver for the next 2 or 3 days, and that's what I want to do, is use that blade. I might use a blade more than once, but most of the time it's one and done for me. It's one of those deals where blades are inexpensive, in my opinion, and I'm not going to risk a bad shave by trying to stretch a blade too far. And with me primarily shaving with a shavette. Now, speaking of that sort of thing, the DE snapped in half, I normally, yeah, those blades are one and done, most definitely. But if I'm using a Feather Artist Club type blade, a blade like that, yeah, I'll use it more than once. And I usually about as far as I normally will go. Sometimes I'll go 6. But that's about as far as I'll go. And I think the same thing with the hair shaper blade. About 5 is about as far as I'll carry it out. This blade's working pretty well. I have to say, on the first shave with this one here, the with the grain pass is somewhat smoother than the Derby Premium was yesterday. I haven't watched too many videos with folks shaving with this soap, but it just got me to thinking, I wonder how many people at some point through the shave wondered if their face was going numb. And not numb in a bad way, just, you know, this is a very cold shave. Makes it nice in this bathroom, especially during the summer. This is nice. Across the green. Oh, speaking of various different shaves, Jill had mentioned that she had decided to go ahead and spring for a shavette. So Sunday I'll do a shave with my classic samurai. Tomorrow is Thursday. I'll do that shave off camera with the whalebone slant cap and head. Same handle I'm using right now. Then Friday and Saturday I'll do a couple of videos. I'll probably mention this again in these future videos, Thursday and Friday. Why would somebody want or need a lightweight shaver like this? And I realize that, you know, for some folks it's there could be a real need for a lightweight shaver as well as one that's not real expensive. And there are some lightweight shavers that are not plastic, made out of aluminum, and Focus, in other words, has a single edge that's very lightweight. But if you, for some folks, in other words, as they either age or as they may have a medical reason, in other words, a heavyweight shaver may not be something that they could really hang on to and still be able to get their 3 passes in if they're trying to do a 3-pass shave. And a lightweight shaver is what they're really needing. And the way I look at it also is that these are relatively inexpensive shavers. So even if you're looking for an inexpensive shaver that's well made, in my opinion, the shaver I started out with the interchangeable plates, the way that the cap and base plate are made, it's very easy to find the angle. It's lightweight. You can flop those plates around, move them around, get the desired shade that you want. Then this open comb is very efficient. You just have to figure out what blade works best for you with this shaver, and this blade's working rather well. But if you're having a hard time hanging on to a shaver that's heavy, or if you're looking for an inexpensive shaver and want to try more than one style out, this may be the direction to go. Because a Rockwell like my dad's using right now run you roughly $50. Go with all 3 plates. And you could try out a 3D printed one for much less than that. And be lightweight. Well made in my opinion. Like I said, no fiddling with the no fiddling with the blade. Lines up perfect every time. Which kind of brings to light, I have ordered a while back. I had ordered a shaver from Russia, and it's on the very bottom blade you'll have a blade like this. Then there's another one that you put 2 half blades up the top cap, and there's a spacer in between them. I think it's pronounced Saver. I think it's S-A-V-I-E-R or S-A-I-V-E-R, one of the two. Can't remember for sure. But at any rate, those 2 half blades, quite a booger to get aligned, get it to fit in there just right. It was a bit of a chore. But most of it's aluminum. Northern Shaver is one that shaved with it, and Brawling, I think that's how you pronounce his name. Anyhow, That shave probably won't come until next week, but I've got the travel version as well as the handle that's solid all the way through, I guess you might say. The travel version, you screw the handle together and it comes in a really small tube, not tube, I'm sorry, cube. I have discovered for me, what works best for me with this shaver is alternating the days. One day I'll have a 2-pass shave, one day I'll have a 3-pass shave. That seems to work well for me. I found out that after I have a 3-pass shave, there's not much the next day. So I just go with the 2-pass shave. It's a very efficient shaver. Andrew had made a post when it comes to certain passes. For some folks it's just not a real comfortable pass, and he's talking about on his neck how he made a pass that just really did not work well for him, and I'm kind of like in that same boat. After I get to a point right here, across the grain's not a good thing for me. And not good at all. If I do end up with weepers, that would be a pretty good indication, but sometimes I don't even have to do that in order to have irritation. The fact that, you know, during the summer you sweat, stinging all day, just real uncomfortable. It just, for me, it's just, most of the time, it's just not a good thing. It's pretty rare that I'm going to be able to pull that off without it being really irritating on my skin. Remember the very first few times when I was first started shaving. Man, talking about skin being irritated and unhappy. And the crazy thing was, it wasn't necessarily like red or anything, but it's just the fact that when you were sweating, it just would just be stinging and, you know, just be angry skin, if you will. Alright, it's got relatively close to my eyes. They're trying to water. I don't know, seems like I was squinting too. I like this soap though, very nice cooling effect. Reminds me a lot of the wintergreen. Wintergreen's because I guess because of the scent, it's a different kind of shave feel on the cooling, I guess I should say. Yeah, Voskhod definitely works better in this shaver than what the premium Derby Premium. So far, I would say it might be because of Teflon coating, which was what I was leaning towards anyway, would be the blade of choice. And I've got a Lord Cool. In other words, I got some other blades that are Teflon coated that seem to do better. I should say with that razor that's got the 2 blades in it, the top cap that's split, takes 2 half blades. I went ahead and ordered the 100 Voskhod also, which was, it's a darn good deal. When you're looking at it on eBay, you can get like a shaver with 100 Voskhods, and it's like $14.99 free shipping. Can't pass up on that kind of deal. Got some witch hazel here. Thought that was a pretty good price. And then just happened to run across the travel version, and I didn't realize that the cube that it came in was so small. It was tiny. Pretty cool idea though, I like it. That also, I should say, that shaver, it says that you can shave with just 1 blade. And I plan on doing that too. Oh, I should say that the travel version is different than when you got a solid handle. Because one of them, the bottom plate is open comb on one side and safety bar on one side on the other. And then the travel version's got a safety bar on both sides, so I thought that's pretty cool. Anyhow, just a tease for next week, huh? I'm kind of anxious to give it a try because it, like I said, that I was working on that blade yesterday, trying to get everything to line up, and it was quite a booger. Oh, and the restrictor. I guess you might say for this kind of bottle, this is a glass bottle, it's about the standard size. I've not seen anything really different with this style bottle. And with the witch hazel with menthol in it. My face is still cooling right now. Reason why I paused for a moment because if I didn't know any better, my nose is just running. There is something else besides the menthol in there that my nose is picking up, and I can't put my finger on what that scent is. I know. See if I can read this. My eyes are really starting to water. It says ingredients. It says alcohol, witch hazel, aloe, and I don't know. I can't hardly read it. My eyes are watering pretty bad. Some kind of leaf juice, menthol, calendula, sodium lactate, vitamin B5 Pro, and something that I can't pronounce, starts with a name. Anyway, this one here got 3.4 ounces, or it comes in a 100 milliliter bottle, so there's probably just a shade less than 100 milliliters in there maybe. Yeah, my eyes are just all watered. This is a fun shave. I really enjoyed it. Been looking forward to this one. Once again, this is the Manatee 208 Open Comb Shaver. I've got a link down below on how you get to it. This one here, in my opinion, is the most fun because it's such an efficient shaver. A 2-pass shave on a certain, on a morning, very close, comfortable, sociably acceptable. In other words, nobody's going to see that little bit that's left. In other words, it's not a 2-pass shave won't give you a BBS, but it'll be it's darn close after having a 3-pass shave. And then tomorrow I'll be shaving with the Whalebone Slant. There it is in the package. I'll have it all set up. Like I say, you can follow along. Catch me on Instagram. I've got a blog, Artisan Shaving, as well as Google+. I'll put those links down below. And hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe and smooth shaves to you.